It's Mike in the Night here, coming on. Oh yeah.
Wolverine, Halloween, coming home. That's right, we're Mike in the Night. It's that time. We here to stir it up. That's right, we're Mike in the Night. It occurs, we concur with the entrepreneurs, right? In the night, arriving the night, leaving the pain. We're Mike in the Night, reporting like a thief in the night. In the night with Dr. Martin, got the dollar bills in the full glass of Tom Collins with Mike Martin, saying like you never heard it before. I'm forgiving them once more with the ill minutes, hearing them all the time. Getting new religion, she was listening all the time. Layla, hey ya, how you doing? We over here stirring up with Mike in the Night. It occurs, concur with Mike the entrepreneurs and it live.
Oh yeah, with the entrepreneurs here tonight on Mike in the Night.
With the ill reports.
Fan made
tonight with Dr. Martin, stricken the Tom Collins, live with Mike Martin.
Oh yeah.
You don't understand, tonight is gonna.
Fan-made music, guys. Keep sending me some fan-made music for Mike in the Night. Oh yeah, today is Monday, September the 8th, 2025. Welcome to episode 618 of Mike in the Night. We are actually in a new season right now because we are into fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, depending where you guys are at. We are in the Northern Hemisphere. It is season 33, episode 1 of Mike in the Night. Yes, it has been that long, my beautiful people. That's been that long that we've been here. And I'm seeing a lot of more and more of new content creators showing up and blowing it up and doing it, just basically doing what we did in 10 years. They're doing it in a matter of weeks. They're getting pushed up the algorithm. They're getting pushed up to the top. They are no longer are in fear of losing a job because they're jobless. So a lot of people are turning to social media, giving their opinions, their ideas, their discussion pieces. And I guess they seem more credible because they are more educated. They are more up to beat with certain things, I guess. And yeah, but here we are on Mike in the Night, season 32. I have to double check that because it's been season 33, episode 1. That's how long it's been here on the show. And I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night wherever you're watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky or your camper or cabin in the woods. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. Woo! It is 3 a.m. and something is moving you. Well, it's 3 a.m. somewhere and something is moving you. And the voice of the Commonwealth, connecting the dots across the Commonwealth. You are here for a reason. You are here to open up Pandora's box here tonight on Mike in the Night. Whether you're watching us from your camper or cabin in the woods or relaxing on your lazy boy. Crack open that window, let that nice cool breeze come in. Get the fireplace going if it's cool enough. Set the mood here tonight on Mike in the Night. All right. What do we got going on? Hopefully, this computer doesn't act up tonight. I had one of my best friends come in yesterday, spent 5 hours here messing around with this computer. He's a Chinese man, and he's really good at computers. Because, thanks for calling me, Mike. What's wrong? I'm like, I did something. Something's not right. Let me check. Move things around. Let's go buy an external hard drive. Let's move some stuff around. So luckily, he looks like the computer may be in better conditions than it was. And if it does crash, we will be back, folks. The channel doesn't get the funding it needs. To maintain itself. It doesn't get the funding it needs the basic funding it needs, but it's okay. So someone's saying there's only 25 watching, 9 likes. What the hell are others doing? Who knows, guys? Actually, it's 22 watching right now, watching Mike in the Night. But, okay, Walia Beef in the house. It's 6 a.m. here in New Westminster. All right, so comments are moving nicely. Let's go into a quick channel plug. Before we go, been getting overwhelmed, guys, with this whole Venezuela. So there's a video I made of Venezuela. It doesn't have many. I think it's got 7,000 views on the video, and that's good. For me, for my videos on YouTube or social media to pass 300 views is actually a pretty big deal. And this one's in the 6, 7, 8,000 views, and it's the Venezuela will be the next war. And we predicted it like 7, 6, 8, whatever, months ago. We said the next war, and if I had the playbook, we're going to Venezuela. So we're going to go to Venezuela today because it's kind of important, because this is going to affect every human being in the Americas here. All right, let's go to a quick channel plug. Guys, don't forget to check out kiwiradio.nz. You got the episode 616 of Mike in the Night there. It looks like he's not going to put the long versions of Mike in the Night in MP3 format anymore. So just letting you guys know, there won't be the long versions of the MP3 format anymore on Kiwi Radio. I think that's what the email, the message that stated. So it happens. It happens, and this is when things like this happen. It's actually a good thing, because then things break apart and then things take off. So hopefully something takes off here. And don't forget tax issues. Don't forget to go to MikeMartinsTax.com. MikeMartinsTax.com. Don't forget to check out MikeMartinsTax.com. Fill out this questionnaire right here, and somebody will get back to you and let you know if they can help you. And artbydano.com, artbydano.net, not your typical art. Don't forget to check out Dano. And don't forget to check him out. He's at the Huntington Beach Pier. He's a great guy. He's been on the show multiple times. And he comes on to update us time to time on what's happening in his area there in California. And I want to thank our channel members. Guys, channel members, I put up a video today of my dog. People are asking for updates on my dog, other updates. So I'm doing other videos on the members only section, kind of more back end, what's going on type things for the members section there. And I would like to personally thank our 4 channel members, Pamela, Dino, Mitch, and Debbie. Thank you for being part of the channel and being a member of the channel. All right. Okay. Yes, it's Athens, Georgia there. Weather is cooler now. We got blackpowderbill.com on the ground there back. Blackpowderbill.com has been on the show. He's our guns guy here on the show that tells us about gun laws they're trying to pass. Mickey Mouse, they're Mickey Mousing us, trying to take the guns away from Americans. So Black Powder Bill, we always have him in our chamber, ready to go to update us on what he sells firearms. So, blackpowderbill.com. Would the South China Sea be safe in the foreseeable future? Okay, guys. All right. Let me get to this my point here, and I will. So this whole Venezuela thing is blowing up. And it's blowing up on the channel. It's getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are privately messaging me, emailing me, Instagramming, whatever, messaging me everywhere about this whole Venezuela thing. My video is getting quite a bit of views, and it's getting quite a bit of views on Facebook. It's gotten, I think, 790 or 800 shares or something on Facebook alone. About this whole our prediction. Venezuela is going to be the next move. It's going to be the next proxy war. It's going to be the next escalation. It's going to be the next distraction. And that is something that I basically worded it where this is going to happen. Now, I took pen to paper and I actually typed out in a draft email here. I just drafted out an email typing out what's going to happen with Venezuela. And this is very important if you're living in the Americas, especially in the northern and southern hemisphere in the Americas. This is an interesting one, and I think they're going to play it to the end. So let's look at this headline here, and then we'll go into my prediction. So here's the headline right here. Venezuela boasts troop deployment In response to U.S. threats, Caracas is set to send 25,000 soldiers to coastal states after American warships arrived in the Caribbean to counter drug cartels. Now, drugs have always been a problem. They never made headlines. Well, they made headlines from time to time, so you feel safe that the governments are doing their jobs. But it depends where the drugs are coming from. It depends what treaties the governments have with each other when it comes to drug trafficking, right? So they're making this whole war on drugs again. Drugs are bad and all that. Drugs, war on drugs. We're back to the war on drugs. The boogeyman on war on drugs. They could have solved the war on drugs 20, 30 years ago during the Reagan administration if they really wanted to. If they really wanted to clean up the drugs and actually create facilities to fix this problem, they could have long time ago. But they chose not to. So what is this Venezuela prediction? Here goes. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to go right to it. I'm going to go to the show notes. I actually took notes for you guys on this one because I think it's important. So what's going to happen? It's going to start off with the oil war spillover. So I make up names for things because I can't really factor what I'm... Just bear with me here. Oil war spillover. The U.S. will seize Venezuelan oil rigs, tankers, under justification of protecting global energy markets. In retaliation, you know what Venezuela is going to do? They'll sabotage Caribbean shipping lanes, causing massive disruptions to global oil supply and spiking energy prices overnight. So this could be a ploy to go back to $100 to $160, $180 a barrel. Charge more for the energy. Right? It could be a ploy, a front. Well, we're at war, so energy is going to have to go up, even though we have tons of reserves. And then it's going to move to proxy escalation with Cuba and Nicaragua. Nicaraguenses. Instead of the direct boots on the ground, I think Washington is going to back Colombia and Guyana, like we said in our prediction, militarily, while Venezuela activates Cuban, Nicaraguan, and even Iranian proxy forces in the Caribbean basin. Suddenly, what looks like an intervention becomes a mini Cold War. Standoff in Latin America. And then what's going to happen? You got the blackout warfare. I believe that Maduro may have the reach to use interesting tactics, cyber tactics, targeting U.S. Gulf regions, U.S. Gulf refineries. And I have a feeling he may even hack into Florida's power grid. Rolling blackouts in Miami, being blamed on Maduro. Maduro's revenge. And then, what's going to happen? We're going to go into the mass migration weaponization. Yep, I took notes on all this, folks. Millions of Venezuelans already displaced could be used as a pressure tactic. Caracas might greenlight a mass exodus of opening borders to migrant caravans towards the U.S. southern border, overwhelming American infrastructure and sparking domestic political crisis. And then we're going to move into the drug trade escalation. We're seeing a drug trade escalation now. The media is putting it front and center for a reason. They're doing it for a reason. But I think Venezuela will ramp up cooperation with cartels, flooding the U.S. with cocaine shipments. Fentanyl comes from China. And we'll cover that later on the show. But fentanyl comes from China. So the cocaine shipments and this will blur the line between war and organized crime. And then we're going to move into the stage where you're going to see the headlines. Russian, Chinese peacekeepers arrive. Yes. In a shocking twist, you'll see it all over the headlines. Russia and China will send peacekeeping forces or naval escorts to Venezuela, daring the U.S. to confront them directly. This would transform Venezuela into a testing ground for great power confrontation without starting it in Taiwan, like we said. We've been saying it, the whole Taiwan thing was for the longest time, but it may be this whole Venezuela thing. This whole Venezuela Guyana, Colombia area. And then what we're going to see? Caribbean naval scrimmages. Yes, we will. And carrier groups patrolling near Venezuela's coast. A Venezuela frigate is going to fire a warning shot at a U.S. drone. Things will escalate. And suddenly we have the first Caribbean naval battle since pretty much World War II. Even if it's brief, it will trigger global panic and oil continues to skyrocket. And they're going to try a coup. America will try its coups, right? And the U.S. will try backing another coup attempt against Maduro. And it will fail like it usually does. Just like they tried against Fidel Castro. Remember that. Venezuela will rally national support after this. And you'll have pro Maduro, of course. And purge pro-U.S. factions. And swing harder towards full military alliances with Iran, Russia, and China, solidifying a long-term U.S. anti-bloc in the Western Hemisphere. See, guys, I had to take show notes on this. So many people are asking me about that, and they're like, you are so sure in your video that Venezuela and U.S. is next, and there was nothing on the radar, Mike. Not a single content creator even brought up anywhere in the Central Caribbean, South American region at all as the next proxy, but you did. I appreciate these emails. It means a lot to me. It really does. It means that I'm getting to some of your people there. I'm getting to some of you folks. So that's what's going to happen next in Venezuela, guys. They're going to move this closer to home, and it will affect us all. So we'll keep you front and center with Venezuela here, going forward on Mike in the Night. Robert's got a good point. He's saying China won't be able to go through the Panama Canal. Russia and China will support Venezuela. Of course, Dino. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to see a solidified, packed Russia, China, Venezuela, and then Nicaragua and all those other countries will start getting in. Countries that were screwed over by the U.S. in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decades. You're going to see turmoil. It's going to get hot. It's going to get off the hook. All right, let's move it along here, folks. Okay, let's get into news you will never, ever in your entire life see if you live in the country of Canada. See, this news in Canada is illegal. Why is this news in Canada illegal? Because it goes against the people of Canada. China. Feds intercept 1,300 barrels of meth precursor chemicals shipped from China to Mexico. And there's the warehouse there. And basically, very simple, just straightforward. There it is right there. There's the barrels. I got another one here for you guys. U.S. seizes 300,000 kilos of meth precursors from China. Look at that warehouse. Just stacked. And the United States announced Wednesday it has seized more than 700,000 pounds, 300,000 kilos of meth precursor chemicals that officials said were en route from China to Mexico's Sinaloa cartel. Now, we told you guys back in 2016 and 2017 that China, on the channel, in 2016, we were telling you, in China, they were sending these chemicals from China to Mexico, 79, 89 miles south of the Benito Juarez city, Benito Juarez, just south of Benito Juarez, 70, 80 miles, there was a Chinese factory. I don't know if it's still there, but this factory was in Mexican territory producing these designer chemical dangerous drugs and shipping it through the southern border. And Canada did it through Kitimat and Vancouver, and the chemicals come in from China. And we told you that Canada is going to ramp up. It's going to ramp up on fake fentanyl busts, fake meth, fentanyl, all kinds of busts. And Canada did ramp up on fake ones. We saw it several months after we told you it was going to happen. Several months later, it was all over the news. They caught a janitor Oh, and we caught this and we caught that. It was all staged. Canada is scared to challenge China over the destruction of its own country. And like we said, we're going to see an uptick on more border drug busts in Canada. $90 million in August. We told you. In March of this year, we told you that Canada is going to start ramping up and basically amplifying drug busts coming across the border to make it look like America is bad and evil. But I doubt a lot of this. I think these are all lies. Canada's not in need of drugs. Canada gets its drugs in from China through Vancouver, and it gets distributed through the rest of Canada along the Trans-Canada. So Canada is not in need of drugs from America. And it's like we said again. I don't know how many times we have to say it's like we said. We've been warning America. America, Canada's your threat, not Iraq. 10 years, 15 years now. Now here we are. Right? So there it is right there, guys. So you guys could see China is basically bringing these chemicals over purposefully, and it's being manufactured by the Chinese government in a province. And we covered this back in 2016. The Shenzhen, or the southern Chinese province. We covered it with the map, showing you guys, detailing it, where it was coming from, how the money was being laundered after into banks and then back into Canadian real estate, back into California real estate, Washington state real estate. And this is how the game is played. This is all this is all a game that's being played against you guys. This is why, Canada is being very careful on who it treads on, right? China wants to build a new channel in Mexico, says Dino Bravo. Ruth is saying, I think you hit it on the join right next to Mike's name. Yeah, if anybody wants to join, you just go to the video or go to the live stream. You'll see a join channel there, guys. Join the channel. We got 4 people there. Join. Help out this transmission. There's a reason why this transmission makes no money for 15 years. We make $400 a year. There's a reason why, though. There's a reason. It's because I'm telling you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. I coined that term. I'm telling you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. All right. Okay. Oh, it's hot, boy. Okay, it's the war on drugs. So I warned you guys about the whole Venezuela thing. Now we're gonna close some of these windows here because it is. I don't want to crash the computer here tonight. And let's head over to Macron. So if you go back to a 2018 Mike in the Night, it's still up. It's on the YouTube channel, a 2018 Mike in the Night. Macron forever, Trudeau forever. Macron is still there from 2017. This guy survived Yellow Vest movement protests, being overthrown, a snap election of which he fixed. All this garbage to keep this WEF puppet in there. And we don't like this guy. This guy's no good. So what's macaroni and cheese? France plunges into chaos as another Prime Minister Francois Bayrou loses confidence in vote and is ousted by Parliament. Unpopular Macron reportedly will not call a snap election. So Macron's failing minority government is a train wreck. And again, since I remember when just before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic, we have the Mike in the Night up there. I should bring these up. The Mike in the Night, World in Chaos, Yellow Vest movement going 67 weeks. They need to pull the trigger on a pandemic. Macron needed it. We covered the Macron Yellow Vest movement on and off because it was so long. It went on for like 60, 70 weeks. That this guy here, this is the guy right here, this WEF puppets, whatever you want to call him. This guy is part of ushering in and pulling the trigger on the pandemic. And French debt, a danger Eurozone. Paris has little chance of reining in its finances amid ongoing political destabilization. The German state media network has reported France's ballooning sovereign debt, coupled with political infighting, could threaten the physical stability of the Eurozone. Dutch Well has reported, citing an expert, France has one of the highest national debts in EU, currently standing at $3.35 trillion. They should have got more laundered money in from Chinese. That's how the Canadians have $2.2 to $2.6 trillion laundered through our real estate. That's what kept Canada going, right? So that's 3.9 trillion US, about 113% of GDP. The ratio is expected to climb 125% by 2030. Holy crapola! Guys, if you're living in the Eurozone, you know what? Start buying gold and silver, man. Start hedging against this right now. Start hedging right now against this. Gold and silver or anything that shines. And France. Protesters demand Macron's resignation for, call it Frexit. Again, they've been calling this guy's resignation. I remember 2017 during the Yellow Vest movement. Nobody wanted him, and he still keeps winning snap elections and by-elections and party elections, and he keeps winning everything. And thousands marched through Paris on Saturday demanding the resignation of President Emmanuel Macron and the Prime Minister François Bayrou, and calling for France to leave the EU. Macron's approval rating has dropped to the lowest since he took office in 2017, amid the spiraling budget deficit, along with the growing discontent with government's financial policies. And let me just go really quick on here, because I think it's actually worth your time to see this, because we do have our Macron files here, and I think it's kind of important because we were here before all these social media influencers showed up to tell you what you already know. But what were we saying? Macron. Let's see what's still left. Let's see what's still left. Let's see what's left that hasn't been taken down. Ready for a hot war. Chess pieces in place. Macron calls French presidential term limits. So remember back 2 years ago, 8 months ago, we made a video how Macron was calling term limits BS. He wanted to stay forever. French farmers protest stagnant revenues as Macron single-handed destroys France 5 years, 11 months ago, just before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic. Macron is finished. Police might join the Yellow Vest movement. Get him out 6 years, 6 months ago. What else do we have on Macron here? We got lots of Macron stuff. Mike and the Knights, Yellow Vests, no confidence in government. Macron, out. Canada Migration Pact, 6 years ago. Yeah, that's when Canada sold out, was when Trudeau signed the Canada Migration Pact. I still remember that. I still remember doing that live stream. And I knew Canada. I knew Canada was destroyed, then and there. And all these social media influencers that exist today, that showed up after 2020, 2021, 2022, nobody was there to help me with this. Nobody. There wasn't all these videos. There was nothing. Nobody was here. It was just me. There was nobody talking about that. And here we are today, guys, destroyed. And you have these people telling you what you already know. It must be annoyance. It must be a big annoyance. All right. We got to get MJ. We need to get MJ Phillips to call into the show today. We need MJ Phillips. MJ Phillips is a very intelligent man. He's very up to date on what's going on, when it's going on, and how it's going on. I want to see if we can get MJ Phillips here tonight on Mike in the Night. It'll be really good. It'll be a treat to have him on. So we got Jean Medeiros in the house. Hey, Mike, fellow Portuguese brother, how are you? My brother. Okay. Someone's emailing me to join. How do I join your YouTube channel? Guys, just go to YouTube. Go to the channel or go to the live stream and click join. There should be a button, join channel. Join. Yeah, Kevin J. Johnston wants to join too. Guys, okay, let's do this here real quick. Okay, 1 second here. Let's do this real quick. All right, let me show you guys. You're going to go here to the channel. I can't see it because it's my channel. It won't show me on my channel. But when you go to here, instead of, I have the customized channel button because it's my channel. But this will be join channel. If you go to any video of mine, any one of my videos, it will say join channel. If you go to the bottom section, you'll see join channel. Like when you're watching at the bottom of the, you'll have like a little, like at the bottom of the screen, it's going to say play, pause, fast forward, rewind, whatever. You're going to go there and there's going to be a thing to join there too. So you could join the channel, and there's a lot of back end videos I post here. And people are emailing me how to join the channel. That's how you do it, guys. You could buy me a coffee. I'll give you the link for the coffee. I should have put up the coffee here for you guys. If you guys want to buy me a coffee, there's a link in the description. From DonorBox. If you guys want to buy me, I'll give you a link for that. Good. You guys want to donate. You guys want to support me. I appreciate it. Here you go. Boom. You guys want to buy a coffee? Boom. There it is. There's the coffee. I'll even pin this to the top. You want to buy me a coffee? There you go. Boom. Buy me a coffee. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I also received, I get random coffees from time to time. I did receive a coffee today from a Joshua. Just want to say thank you, Joshua, for the coffee today. First time donor. Thank you, Joshua. So, a couple of scraps here and there. I appreciate it very much, guys. It all adds up. Viva! Gente Português, we got Liz in the house. Gary Madeiros! Man, this is a Portuguese feast, man! We're having a feast here tonight! Woo! On Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'll call you. Kevin J. Johnston, I will call you. Let me just do a few more headlines, my friend. I will call you. I promise I will call you. Don't worry. You're first on my list. El primero. You're number one. Okay. Let's go. I got some stuff I need to go through here. So there's a canceled. So we got ourselves a canceled British, I guess, stand-up comic. Keep men out of women's sports. Yeah, that's just being logical. And cancelled by Britain. Graham Linehan's war with trans lobby ended his career and his marriage. Now he's quit the UK for America and wants asylum as free speech refugee. Now, I brought this up to ask you guys. Free speech refugee. Would they allow that in America? Like, I mean, the whole world would move to America if that was the case. Free speech refugee, right? That's a very interesting move. I'm going to keep following this and see where it goes, okay, guys? And some good news out of the UK here. Nigel. Poll shows Nigel Farage's Reform UK on course to win next general election and form a majority parliament. It's about time someone comes in that actually, the UK party, that's actually that's there for a change. Doesn't need the money. Nigel Farage does not need the money. I remember messaging him like 5-6 years ago, and he got back to me. About 6-7 years ago, I messaged him, and he got back to me. He's a good guy, right? It looks like we may see change. And what is this? Medicine Dienst Integration. What is this? This is a German integration form that a lot of places and corporations and all kinds of places are going to have to learn inclusiveness in Germany and learning how to welcome your invaders and not be disrespectful to your invaders. That's kind of pathetic in a way, but that's okay. And German defense industry on the rise. Order books are full of employment is climbing. And employment is climbing. Labor market experts sees Germany's defense sector firmly on a growth trajectory. So, again, it's just European countries saber rattling. We saw this in the big wars. They're just saber rattling is all they're doing. Nobody panic here. That's just what it is. And we are moving into United States of America real quick here. And Russia warns all messenger apps have backdoors for spy agencies. Russia has warned that all messenger apps are riddled with backdoors deliberately installed for spy agencies and intelligence services, making them completely transparent to global surveillance state. Everything is following you guys. Everything is tracking you. New report reveals China stole data from nearly every American in massive cyber attack. And a sweeping cyber attack by China linked to group Salt Typhoon compromised personal data and critical infrastructure, stealing information from nearly every American and targeting over 80 countries worldwide. The hijackers have accessed communications from major U.S. political figures, including President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance during the 2024 campaign, compromising text messages and phone calls. So it goes on to say here, officials say that hijackers likely swept up data from millions, possibly hundreds of millions of ordinary Americans, though it's still unclear whether the general public was intended target or collateral damage in border espionage operation. And California's fake student crisis, 1.2 million bots, steal seats, and financial aid costing taxpayers millions. And California's community colleges face a bot invasion of 1.2 million fake applications stealing aid and seats. Scammers use AI, stolen identities, and disaster relief schemes to exploit open access online enrollment systems. The fraudsters stole 11.1 million in 2024 alone. And colleges fight back with AI detection tools like Leap AI, but scammers adapt by targeting vulnerable groups like homeless students. And scouts allow ICE agents to keep arresting illegal aliens in sanctuary city, Los Angeles. Yes, if you're illegal, go home. You're not there legally. You are there to destroy you're there. The safety of the country is compromised. Go leave the country and come back in and come in legally. And tell them what your intentions are in America. And Houthis suspected in undersea cable cuts as internet slows across Asia and the Middle East. And Houthi rebels backed by Iran are the prime suspect due to their history of sabotage and advanced capabilities in the Red Sea. They're the pirates of the Red Sea, folks. And three major cable systems, SMW4, IMEWE, and Falcon GCX, were cut, causing a widespread of slowdowns and exposing critical vulnerabilities. Undersea cables carry 99% of global data traffic and shockingly easy to sabotage, with repairs taking weeks. The attack is a warning of digital infrastructure is now a battleground, and future disruptions could paralyze economies and economics worldwide. And Trump speaks out of Ukrainian refugee being stabbed on metro in Charlotte. Again, this is why illegals or people, refugees, or all people need to come in with proper documentation and proper intentions on what they're going to do. And then it's on the hands of America of who they let into the country. But if you're illegal, you shouldn't be there. Chemical exposure from common foods are fueling youth mental health crisis, scientists warn. A sweeping new scientific review exposes how daily consumption of common foods and drinks laced with neurotoxin chemicals is fueling and exploding global mental health crisis among young people, driving a surge of anxiety, depression, and hopelessness the establishment refuses to acknowledge. Guys, that's why I keep saying drink a lot of lemon water, lots of water, stay off the sugars, stay off the carbs. And are the growing levels of neurotoxic and neurodisruptive chemicals in our food and drink contributing to the youth mental health crisis? A narrative review. This paper goes into it. This is like 600 pages long. And this will, that's what it's called right there. Take a screenshot of it if you guys want. Neurosciences and Biobehavioral Reviews. This is volume 176, September 2025. Go look through this, skim through this if you need to. If you need more information on what's going on with this, guys, it's very, very important that you guys know why your brains are failing, why neurotoxins are getting in. We're getting wiped out. We're getting destroyed. Why? It's happening for a reason, folks. And it's the great plan to basically take us out. All right. Comments are moving nicely here, folks. WT saying, I used to eat Big Macs until they charged $18 for one. Yep. Artbydano.com, artbydano.net, not your typical art, joining us here tonight on Mike in the Night. Pale Zogorajani is saying, the world is a dangerous place. Alan Howick is saying it's an a-hole plan. That's what it is, folks. MJ Phillips can no longer afford to eat out anymore, folks. Just giving you guys an update. Sorry, guys. I gotta wet my beak here. I'm talking too much. Yep, Terry's got a right up there on Timmy's. I just make my own. I haven't been to Tim Hortons in a long time. Yeah, Ruth is saying that certain people are working at all these restaurants and I don't eat anymore. I go to a restaurant, a fast food place now. I look and see who's working. If I don't like the situation, I just walk right out. On my way home, I was coming with the family on a long highway excursion. I'm tired. I just flown 14,000 miles to Los Angeles and then from Los Angeles to Vancouver. I managed to get our vehicle and then drive home still 3 hours. And let me tell you, we stopped at a bunch of fast food places off the highway. I walk in, see the people. Hasta la vista. Get in my car and leave. We ended up buying nothing. We came home and made food. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, guys, share this, man. Share this thing. We don't even have 10 people watching this thing. Share this Mike of the Night, guys. Please share. Support your little guy. Support your little guy here. Support your little man. You are tuned in to season 33, episode 1. Guys, go to mikeandthenight.org. Man, I got to bring up these things on the channel properly. Mikeandthenight.org will take you to a playlist of all the episodes of Mike and the Night. Some people want to go back and re-reference certain things. It's there. It's all at mikeandthenight.org. Mikeandthenight.org. Go back. See it. So, all right. Let's head over to Canada real quick here, folks. Let's head over to Canada. America's in a big mess. Now it's Canada's turn. What's happening here in the Great White North? Toronto real estate sets inventory record. Prices down 24% from highs. And here it is, folks. There it is, 2019. They pulled the trigger on the pandemic, and there was a melt up in the market, and they lowered interest rates to historical lows. Chinese money laundering is in the trillions, and then boom. And then boom. There's your elephant trunk. We've been talking about this elephant trunk for years. We're going to start to see it come down to the water. And Greater Toronto real estate prices are finding little relief despite industry optimism. The price of a typical home fell 1.5%, $11,300 to $969,000. And that's important because now we've gone below the $1 million mark. So, holy, thank God. And that's in the Greater Toronto area. We have officially fallen below the $1 million mark. I think the last time was 2016, 2017, because the Greater Toronto area was hit with Chinese money laundering when Vancouver put the foreign buyer's tax and the money went to Toronto and Seattle, Washington State, and destroyed both areas within weeks. Housing went from like moderate to high, to crazy astronomical pricing overnight. And no more free booze for thieves loading up at LCBO. I've been getting a lot of videos from people of migrants going into the liquor store and grabbing stuff. Perhaps the message in the bottle might be that all there will no longer be complimentary drinks paid for by the taxpayers. So they're going in and they're picking up stuff. Let's see if it picks up here. They're going in. Oh, they're stopping them here. And a lot of them, it's all cultures. It's not just, it's people from all different cultures are coming in. And I'm noticing in the videos. And just picking up stuff and running off. And I guess the taxpayers are fed up, or governments. I mean, why would the government care so much if they just print the money and they just, like, it doesn't, and then they could offset the loss. It's interesting. I guess they're just, sending a message, I guess. Canadian real estate is crashing at one of the fastest rates ever. And here it is, folks. Canadian real estate prices below 2017 inflation adjustment peak. Even Canadian real estate prices are in disbelief over how sharp this correction has been. Real home prices moved up a minor 0.15% in Q1 2025, but remain 3.94% lower than last year. And Canada's housing crash is already the second largest on record. So no one's reporting on this, but we are here telling you this. And there's the Canadian real estate bubble is collapsing at a record pace. So there's the current pace right there. Oh, yeah, it is. It definitely is. Whoa. Whoa. There's a 2008 right there. 2017. Here's your early 80s right there. That was the major one, early 80s right here. Early 90s. And then the current one. The current one is just, again, Canadians don't have money to compete with Chinese money laundering. They just don't have the money to do it. Or the 5 or 6 million people from India that came in to buy up our markets. Governments thought it was a great idea to bring in all these Indian people to buy the real estate. But it's not happening, folks. Now we're overrun with Indians, and Chinese money laundering doesn't let us into our own markets. The mass exodus we've been talking about for 15 years. Here it is. And Carney announces $800 million tariff relief fund for Atlantic Canadian businesses. Again, Carney, shut up, man. We're in this problem because of you and the Liberal, all the parties, because of money laundering. So it doesn't matter who's in power, they would launder money for China. That's what they do. That's what Canada does. And we are in this problem because the fentanyl is coming in from Canada into the United States, and Canada's creating fake drug busts from America to Canada to make it look like America's evil. All the fentanyl is coming in from Canada into the United States and from Mexico into the United States, and we've been reporting on that since 2016, 2017. And there it is right now. We are in this mess, and we're being tariffed to death, and Canada needs a kick in the balls because of, again, dealing with Chinese communists and bringing in a bunch of migrants in to take over our locals. And yes, America, Canada is your threat, not Iraq. And this one is baffled. I'm baffled with this one right now. I'm baffled. Crime scene. Man guilty of soliciting sex with minor sought after ankle monitor removed. And this is, I am absolutely floored with this. I am baffled. He's not white. Changjugan Chad Lee, previously convicted of soliciting sex with a minor, is wanted by York Regional Police after he cut off his ankle bracelet. I have never seen anyone but a white person on the news for anything when it comes to this kind of stuff. I am absolutely baffled that they're showing this man's face. I can't believe it. Holy smokes. And after racially motivated sword attack at Brandon School, advisory committees focus on safety inclusion. Yeah, I'm going to send my kids to school. Yeah, they're going to go to school. There's going to be a vicious sword attack. And we're going to focus on safety and inclusion after what? Folks, that's how it works. That's how they set it all up. Yeah, that's just going to be a vicious sword attack. But remember, guys, we need to focus on safety and inclusion. My question to these people, or these people that don't look like they're Canadian, my first question I ask them is, what are you doing here? What are you doing in this country? before you call me a racist, I was asked that too. In the early 80s and early 90s. My family, Portuguese, living in Canada. And it's public servants and people would look at us and say, what are you doing in Canada? What are you doing in our country? My dad and my uncles, they all came to build this country. My dad just worked on the Air Canada project. My dad worked on the Sky Dome project. My dad worked on all these banks that I can't work in because it's for Chinese people. Yeah, that's what I'm doing in this country. My dad's building it in hopes that I will work in one of these buildings one day. But no, I'm not going to work in one of those buildings one day because it's for safety and inclusion. Right? So I have I'm going to ask, what are you doing in this country? What are you doing here? That's what Canadians should be asking people. This guy doesn't look European, Canadian, whatever. What are you doing in my country? Just ask him, what are you doing here? Right? You come to build the building for us? Are you building this road? Oh, I go work bank. I go work at the bank. For what? Canadians are starving to death. You're going to go work in the bank. You come from China to work in the bank. You come from India to work at Tim Hortons. When Canadians are starving to death. Oh, Canadians don't want to work. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. So Liz is saying the same thing here with my parents when they arrived. Yeah, we were asked quite a few times. What? I went for a job interview at a fast food restaurant. They called me in. What are you doing in Canada? What are you doing here? We don't need you here. I'm like, well, okay. Now I'm asking. As a concerned Portuguese citizen living in Canada, I'm concerned for the Canadians. I want to know what these people are doing here. What are they doing in this country? I want to know. I was asked that multiple times. Now I'm asking the question myself. Mafangulo if you don't like it. All right. Guys, I did have Tim Hortons in Philippines and it was amazing. At Green Hills Mall. Green Hills Mall. I went to the Tim Hortons in the Philippines and it was incredibly good. Just want to let you guys know. It was all Filipinos working there. I had a Boston cream. It was really good. Coffee tasted like it did back in the day. For some reason, they got it tasting the same. Like it was in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, guys, don't be afraid to ask somebody, what are you doing here? What are you doing in this country? Oh, I come here to work in you come here to work. Yeah. AI is saying, EHI is saying, Timmy's Donuts haven't been good. All right, guys, we need to get Kevin J. Johnston on the show. He's waiting very, very patiently. Hi. Let me say hi. How are you? All right. Let's get, give me a sec here, guys. Let me take a swing of water. We're going to get our man Kevin on mic.
Live in the pain, Mike in the night, pouring like a thief, coming in the night, time counting, drinking them up, live with Mike Martin, in a world never seen before, like once gonna be the Alpha Omega, we here, you made it, glad you're here, trick or treat, tonight's Halloween, neighbors coming.
How you doing, Mad Bax? Good to see you. Good to see you back.
In the night. It's that time. Thanks for tuning in. Here we are, stirring it up with Mike in the night. It occurs, we concurring on once more with Mike in the ride in the night. We gonna be ill here. We ain't got no COVID in the live stream. Reporting it ain't nothing new. We always on the scene. Here with Mike Martin. The live channel all the time. That's right. Here, giving the trick or treats all the time. Stir it up. Live. See you next time.
Kevin, pick up the phone. Oh, we got him. He's here. Kevin, you good, buddy?
I'm good, brother. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I could hear you perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kevin J. Johnston on the show, the master of disaster, the king of queens, the man with a plan, the man that knows. The connected man in Central America now, giving us some. He's going to give us, guys, don't forget to check MikeMartinsTax.com. I've been plugging that every week on Mike of the Night. So if you have any issues, fill in that questionnaire, and our boy Kevin will see what he could do here. For you guys. Thanks for being here, brother.
Mike, first off, I want to say thanks for covering the whole money laundering thing. As you know, I've been doing taxes for Canadians full-time, 12 to 14 hours a day for the last 2 years. You know, I got to Panama 18 months ago, and I work every single day. I've had 25 days off in that entire amount of time. I've been to the beach less than 12 times. It's phenomenal how much money there is to make in the tax business, but only if you do it my way. Mike, Canadians can actually be wealthy. This is something I have figured out completely because we've worked on probably the better part of 1,000 clients' taxes. And that is, if you don't pay tax, you can actually be incredibly wealthy in Canada. So that's what I've been doing, is absolutely crushing everybody's tax bill. I go back 10 years, I get people back 10 years worth of taxes. And then we put them into numbered corporations, and I teach them how to never pay tax again. We're having a great deal of success with it. The Canada Revenue Agency has made it very clear that none of the staff, all 60,000 of them that work there, most of them are third world trash, are not allowed to talk to me. But it's funny when I do call auditors and collection agents and whatnot to discuss tax files, they will tell me that they're not allowed to talk to me, but then they'll answer my questions for the better part of half an hour. Some of those videos you can see on my Rumble channel. If you just type in freedomreport.ca, you'll get there. You can see some of these things. Mike, to give you an example, there's one Nigerian guy was calling me because I had bought a corporation from a client, it had monumental amounts of debt, like $1.8 million in debt. That's what I do, is I buy debt from people. This Nigerian guy speaks horrible English. And he asked me, what does the corporation do? I told him, but very quickly, and I kept it very jovial, that I have this device that, stimulates your crotch, and that other people around the world can use their mouse and stimulate your crotch and so on. And then I kept accusing him of having herpes during the entire 22-minute conversation. And every time I say, come to my studio, look at my books, I got a cream for your herpes. Okay. He kept saying okay.
Taking advantage of poorly English.
Yes. I am. And I'll tell you why, because I'm absolutely disgusted that the Canada Revenue Agency decided to hire 30 to 35,000 pieces of third world trash. I don't give a crap how that makes a white middle-aged guy with gray hair sound. I am not a fan of excessively stupid people. Like, we're talking intelligence at 59, IQs of 59, 73 and whatnot. That's really dumb. Mike, as you know, I used to be a wartime correspondent, so I've been to war zones, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Lesotho, Western Myanmar, Bangladesh. These places have got broken genetic codes. They can barely be registered as human beings. What the freaking hell are they doing in our society? Their intelligence factors are far too low to ever assimilate into our culture. So what they do is they read off of the screen what they're supposed to say to people. And there's nothing worse than having someone who doesn't speak English and doesn't get the culture calling you and demanding something from you. Despise it in every way. So I've been teaching a lot of Canadians how to fight back. And yes, you do take advantage of these people. You should take advantage of these people.
Well, my question
they
is,
do not belong here. Go ahead.
Let's take
Mike.
2 steps back. My first question is, before you even go to any of that, my first question is, what are they doing here? That's the first, because when I was in the 1980s and 90s, when we came from Portugal, we'd be asked quite a few times every time we went out as a family. They would ask me and my dad or my mom or me, usually my parents. They would ask my parents, "What are you doing in Canada? What are you doing in our country? What are you doing here?" And I'm like, well, my dad's working on the Air Canada project and he just finished the Sky Dome project or whatever. He's working on these and my uncles and everyone, they're working 24/7 to build this for you guys. I didn't say that back in the day because I was a kid, but I'm saying that's what they came here for. And we were very pointed at. What are these? Kevin, I'm not kidding you. I sent in a job application, got a job at a fast food place. I got the job. My dad told me, don't tell them you're Portuguese. They won't hire you. So I didn't tell him anything. I got the job. A few weeks later, 5 weeks or 4 weeks into the job, they hired a guy from my high school. I walk into work. The guy from my high school was already there, pointed at me and said, he's Portuguese. And then the manager pulled me aside and said, we couldn't run an ad that said no Portuguese, but we don't want you here. And basically fired me on the spot. And this was a big fast food chain. I'm not making this up. And yeah. So I didn't bother with any of it. It didn't bother me. I'm not trying to play I don't give a rat's ass. But fast forward to today, what are these people doing here? I want to know. I'm a concerned Portuguese citizen.
I'll tell you what they're doing here.
What are they doing here?
They've been brought here deliberately to completely destabilize the Western world, to destabilize Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia. You'll notice that all three countries are destabilizing at the same rate. The UK a little bit faster because it's a smaller island compared to Canada and Australia. But Mike, it's completely deliberate. We have this absolute replacement of the entire European race. And of course, Canadian white people are so afraid of being called racist that they're not even observing it. They're not paying attention to it in any way. They're not talking about it, and they're not reacting to it. We have screwed up big time as a society. Canadians had it way too good for way too long. So from 1948 to 1996, the prosperity made the men weak, allowed the feminists to take over, and allowed incompetent women, and Canada is full of them, to take over every administrative position of consequence to the nation. All teachers are radical, fat, feminist losers. All principals are pretty much female now. We have Muslim female judges all over the country. What the hell are they doing in there? And now we've got these overweight Punjabi women who are 5'2", wearing RCMP outfits. Have you ever seen Punjabi women with those huge fat asses they got? It's like
Careful,
9 pairs of pants to cover one cheek.
Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. We are. You're right. We're not on Rumble. I forgot about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're just on YouTube, and we could I don't want to lose all the work.
Okay, yeah. So big things behind them, which take about 5 pairs of pants to cover each side. The point I want to make here is that we have completely allowed our culture to be watered down and taken from us because white people were afraid to be called racist. You know, it isn't that bad to be called it. It truly isn't. When someone calls you that, white people, it's because they have no counter argument that anybody would respect. That's all that it means. Every single time that I make a valid point, I get called racist or Islamophobic or homophobic.
But it doesn't make any sense. But it's watered down. It's not strong top shelf whiskey anymore. It's watered down. It's 2 drops of whiskey and 3/4 water.
Watered down or not, Mike, Canadian white people are still afraid of being called racist. Yeah. And then they'll say stupid stuff like, I got a friend who's black and the guy I work with is Chinese. Like, why are you justifying yourself? Do not justify yourself to weak-minded individuals who go straight to insults as opposed to debate and or intelligent conversation. And all this third world junk that's in the country now can't think. They go straight to anger, rage, and complaints.
Yet you're going against their programming. I made a video about a year and a half ago about NPCs and why people lash out on people. It's because you're going against their programming. They're programmed, and the only way they could do or reply or come to any conclusion is by lashing out, shutting down, and hurting and saying hurtful things to other people because you're going against their programming, Kevin.
Right.
And once you do that,
you know what, Mike, you're right. You're right. But here's the deal. Why is everybody afraid of someone who's lashing out? Just because someone is raising their voice doesn't make them right.
Of course.
It doesn't
just
make
because
them
you feel offended doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah. Who cares? The more offended you are, the more I like it. And I go out of my way to offend people. You know, there's a very good guy. His name is Cool Deep. I'm not going to give you his last name, but he's an Indian guy that I used to do a lot of presentations with. And what he said is whenever you call a Pakistani or an Indian man out or a Bangladeshi man out on being a ripoff artist, they'll start raising your voice. You get out of my store. I will call the police. And I was told, all you got to do as a white man, walk over to them, put your nose on their nose and ask them, is there going to be a problem? And all of a sudden they stop. Well, he was right. Tried it a few times. I was coached to do this by an Indian man who's fed up with all the third world trash coming in the country. He came to the country 25 years ago. He became friends with me 25 years ago. And the two of us worked together for over 10 years. And I feel horrible for him and his family because they came to the country, learned the language, assimilated into the culture, put their kids in hockey and swimming lessons and lacrosse and so on. So they adopted their newfound homeland is what they did.
Well, they became
but now
Canadian.
They're in the same boat as all the junk coming into the country, all the trash. Yeah, listen, for those of you out there who might be complaining about the way I talk, too bad. You don't like it, don't listen to me. Just
you
go.
guys have to hear him on Rumble. When we go live on Rumble, Mike and the Knights on Rumble, maybe we might do a midweek or Kevin, I got to find a way for this stupid channel. I got to get some revenue somehow, somewhere. I can't, okay. I can't, this channel can't, like my computer is failing. My computer was failing last week. Last week's show, it shut down 4 or 5 times. I can't, like, I need to, making $400 to $600 a year is not, it just doesn't, you know, and then there was this, I have to bring up this influencer that really pissed me off a few weeks back, and I'm going to bring it up again. I don't give a shit. So this influencer comes on, he's on a live stream, and he's complaining about how he failed on social media. He's been on social media for 2 years, and he's only making $200,000 a year. He feels like a failure. What a loss. I wasted my time, 2 years. And then he starts a GoFundMe because he needs a computer. And he raises $160,000 for a new computer. It's like, and this guy is only U.S. aid. He's talking about what we already know, Kevin. Kevin, did you look into that U.S. aid like I told you? How influencers were getting paid?
Yeah, absolutely, I did. And there's a lot of influencers that are getting paid to
7,001 in Canada. 7,001 influencers in Canada are getting paid after 2021. So all these people that showed up after telling you what you already know are getting the big bucks.
That's correct. Well, Mike, here's how you're going to make money. And everybody out there, let's give Mike a hand with this. As I've told you all, I make a lot of money doing taxes for Canadians and also taking away payroll money from the CRA. I've taken more than $200 million from the CRA in the last 2 years. So could everybody please type in, it's in the chat right now for you, kevinjjohnston.com/Mike Martins. For absolutely every single client that signs up through that page, Mike gets paid. That's how it works. And Mike will get paid well.
MikeMartinsTax.com.
Oh, yeah. Is that what it is? MikeMartinsTax.com. Very good.
It goes right to the page. Yeah, right. I was plugging it earlier in the show. I don't know if you saw it, but I plug it.
Well, thank you for plugging it. And of course,
every week.
It's you, Mike, making money. So everyone, you got to do this. I love taking money from the CRA. I love teaching Canadians how not to pay tax. I adore doing payroll for clients where they don't have to pay about 14% of the tax that they normally would pay. You know, Mike, we just saved a company $1.6 million a year in payroll just by taking over their payroll and not doing it the way that large companies like ADP do. All right. That's MikeMartinsTax.com, everybody. MikeMartinsTax.com. And look, hey, Mike's been doing this how long now? 10, 12, 13 years?
Well, my first channel I started in 2008 got terminated in 2012. Permanent termination.
Okay, so then you've been doing this for well over a decade, like a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Mike, I come to you for news. I don't waste my time with anything in Canada. I need everybody to donate. Just everyone watching right now, donate $10 to Mike right this minute, please. This guy deserves it. He's earned every penny. The amount of research that Mike does is phenomenal. Mike, why have you not written 40 books yet? You know more than every human being combined's ever forgotten. And that's not a joke.
What did you think about my Venezuela prediction at the beginning of the show? Did you catch that?
Of course I watched you. Mike, I watch your show all the time. I'm here for the news.
The Venezuela prediction, I have a feeling it's gonna affect everyone in the northern and southern hemisphere in the Americas. I have a feeling Venezuela is a good pivotal. It's a great point. It's a great location to have a proxy war, escalation war, a scare war, raise the price on oil. All kinds of cool stuff is gonna happen out of Venezuela. And I made a prediction 6 months ago, Kevin, that Venezuela, if I was a tyrant, Venezuela will be my next proxy war. Fast forward 6 months later, boom, it's happening. It's happening. And that video is going viral on Facebook with almost 1 million views. And people keep emailing me on this. Well, what's going to happen now, Mike? I believe you.
What's going to happen now is that each and every one of you watching the show, you're not going to build fallout shelters. What you're going to do is start to focus on you. All right. Everybody watching, exercise, learn how to shoot a gun if you can. If you've got the means to do so, learn. Mike, I joined a gun club here in Panama, and I'm shooting every single solitary week, sometimes 3 times a week. Learn how to fight with knives. Knives are phenomenal. They're no bullets. They don't jam. Get in shape. Go jog. Run. Weight lift. Do whatever it takes to keep your body set and healthy, but also get the mind healthy. You got to learn new things. Learn how crypto works. Learn how the gold and silver market that Mike was talking about earlier work. Learn where currency comes from. You need to learn these things to keep you and your family in the know. Focus on you. Everybody who's watching, Canada, the country, is done. It's over. There is nothing that any of us can do to rescue it. There's no political solution. There's 2 solutions for Canadians: revolt, ugly in an ugly fashion, or get out. Now, Mike, I left Canada, as you know, about 20 months ago. I've been in Panama for 18 months. I am now a millionaire. You know why that is? Because I am free. My mind is free and clear from all the nonsense in Canada. The extremist left-wing idiots, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, radical feminists running the country into the ground, weak males, not men, weak males who cry and still live at home with mommy and daddy at age 46, playing video games all of the time. When I'm not around that nonsense, plus all the angry Canadians who are angry and they don't even know why. I could tell them why, but I don't want to be around that anymore. Period. One more thing, everyone. I know the ladies get upset when I talk about women, but now that I've been in Panama for 1.5 years, the women here are soft, they're sensual, they're traditional, they are polite, they are kind, they are everything that Canadian women are not. So I don't have the evil and the whiny complaintive distractions inside this skull anymore. I am completely free and clear of all that, which means I'm free and clear to experiment with every economic theory that I've ever cooked up. And it works, Mike. It is working well. So, and I'll share this with you, Mike. I own 3 condominiums now here. I've added up everything. I've got internet in all 3, electricity, gas, and water in all 3. Now I rent 2 of them out. I'm making pretty good money on 2 of them. But the living expenses that I've got between them all, if I factor in internet, cell phones, food, and running 3 condominiums now, $10,600. That's it. $10,600 to keep 3 condos running smooth. Plus, of course, there's my profit margin doing taxes for Canadians, bigger profit buying corporations and corporate debt and trading corporate debt. And I've got rent coming in on 2 of these condos. I go to a grocery store here. It's called the Malito de Carne meat market. Mm-hmm. And I can buy a 5-pound chicken for $2. And I pay one of the ladies who runs the janitorial department here. She's a great cook. I pay her $10 and she cooks my meals. So I get 2 chickens that size. She'll roast them and get vegetables in there. And for $10 plus about $5 worth of meat and about $4 worth of vegetables, I could eat for the entire week. It is remarkable how easy it is to live in other countries. I was in
the Philippines. Okay, I got a question here from EHI. It says, thanks, guys. Question. I have a ton of call options in my TFSA. I don't day trade. If I win big, will CRA come after me? They should be eligible.
Well, they should be eligible, but the CRA is not going to be the ones who find this out. It's going to be FinTrack that finds this out. And FinTrack, it's a group that was supposed to protect Canadians from terror groups. What happened is they expanded from 20 people to 540 people, and they just spy on Canadians. So if you make a bank transfer of any kind for more than 10K, if you spend more than 10K at a time on your credit card, if you're foolish enough to use Canadian crypto sites, RRSPs, GICs, RESPs, and TFSAs, then FinTrack is going to report everything to the CRA. Now, I don't want you to panic about that because, like I mentioned earlier, the CRA is full of third world trash who have zero intelligence. They don't have the smarts, but they also, even with currently 55,000 people working there, because 5,000 got fired, they don't even have the manpower to analyze all the data coming in from FinTrack. What I would suggest to you is if you have a TFSA, cash the whole thing out, have me do your taxes for you in the following tax year. I will kill the tax debt, completely crush the tax debt. And then I'd invest in gold, silver, and crypto, property, real property. Although I'm concerned about buying houses right now in Canada, there's property elsewhere in the world that will appreciate in value.
In 2
Mexico,
years, you can buy back in Canada in 2 years. In 2 years, the average one-bedroom condo is going to go down to under 40, 50,000. 2 bedrooms, 65, 70, and detached homes will be starting at 160 to 390. They're going to go back to where wages are. Incomes will be tied to wages in about 2 years. Incomes and wages will be tied to real estate in 2 years. Secretly,
Mike, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the entire market to crash because I'm going to buy up everything I possibly can. As it stands, Mike, we are projected this year to bring in an additional $6 million before Christmas even hits. So I'll be investing that in Panama, Argentina, and Mexico, and I'll be investing it in crypto, gold, and silver so that when the time is right and houses do drop, I will buy up everything I can and become a landlord in Canada with a property management team running it. And I'll go one step further and say something else. I will only rent my houses to white families who have children and possibly a dog or a cat, because at least then I know I'm going to get paid. I also have cooked up a brand new way for landlords to guaranteed get paid, where we have you put your house into a numbered corporation. I'll facilitate that for you. The person renting must also get themselves a numbered corporation. And we've got this amazing 25-page contract. Took me a while to write it, but it'll be a business-to-business rental. So instead of you having tenants, you have a business renting your house. The perk is the corporation gets to have staff live there. Your family gets to live there. But you miss a payment 15 days later, you're out the door. Completely and totally enforceable. I am changing how everything is done in Canada. I've already changed how taxes are done. Let me tell you this also. The CRA is in full panic mode. There's somebody on Instagram calls himself Mario for the North. He is paid by the PC party to make Pierre Poilievre look good, to advocate for more prisons within the country, but also to insult me. It is amazing how when I made the announcement 4 weeks ago that I've cost the CRA $200 million, this Mario for the North guy, who apparently has 250,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram, is now telling people not to listen to my tax advice. Isn't that amazing? Another one of these 7,000 people you're talking about, Mike, who's getting paid as a shill to spread misinformation.
It's 7,001.
There you go. Mario's probably 7,001st. Here. I'm just talking about the fact that Canadian podcasters, most of them suck at what they do. And you cannot buy advertising on their spaces because they've got this weird idea in their head saying that, oh, no, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it to save the country. Well, then you're an idiot. Because if you've got yourself the better part of 100,000 subs, that's worth money. Mike, you've got 100 and something thousand followers on Instagram. That is worth money. You should have Givenchy and Alfred Sung and all these companies paying you to wear their clothing on your show. Maybe we got to get you a marketing manager here. That's a lot of people following. That is high influence.
Yeah, I just passed 157,000 on Facebook, and I passed 126,000 on Instagram. And then my Mike of the Night backup emergency page is at 99,000. And then this YouTube is at 85,000, I think. And I don't know. I got kicked off of TikTok. I have a TikTok page, and it has a screenshot of my previous TikTok page with 100 and something thousand followers. And they took me down on TikTok for talking about Chinese money laundering.
Well, we know why that is, but yeah, you and I know exactly why that is. TikTok is a bizarre place. You just never know what they are going to deem as sensitive. I've had about 25 videos taken down by TikTok in the last little while, just talking about taxes and the fact that you don't have to pay capital gains. They would take them down. I would appeal them. They've all been put back up. It's a matter of there's something in the algorithm where they're looking for things like you don't have to pay tax, that phraseology, and they take you down as a scam. But you got to appeal. Every time you appeal on TikTok, they actually do put them back up.
Oh,
There you go.
I appealed. They didn't put it back up because it's about Chinese money laundering and how Chinese destroyed the West. You got a question here from Anthony D. Hey, Mike, can you ask Kevin what happened with the court case with Paramount Foods? Was it a fixed outcome?
Of course it was. Okay, for those who don't know, you remember Omar Khadr? He was a guy that killed an American soldier with a grenade and blinded another one, but also blinded himself in one eye. And when he was finally released after 10 years, the Americans held him in Cuba for 10 years. He came back to Canada. This guy named Mohammed Faqih, who runs a restaurant chain.
Oh, I know what this is about. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I
So
don't want to get in trouble with this because I'm an open door, Kevin. They'll come right after me.
Okay, so then just to put it to you mildly, the judge, so let's leave Muhammad out of it. Let's put the judge into it. The judge was an extremist, far left, maniacal woman at about 65 years of age, grew up as a hippie, I'm sure, and simply did not like my conservative views. I was not allowed to enter my defense. I was not allowed to make any statements to the court. I was not allowed to do anything except sit there and listen to the loser lawyer that he had whine about what a terrible person I am because I'm a Donald Trump fan. Now, when he said Mr. Johnston has declared himself the #1 Trump fan in Canada, the judge's face went red. She was livid. Boom, I lost just like that. So does it matter about the court case? And I would say, no, I don't think at all, because I told everybody, if you sue me, even if I lose, I'm never going to pay you. I don't recognize the authority of Canadian civil court. I'm not giving anybody my money who hasn't earned it. So they just wanted to have something where they could say, oh, we got the amazing Kevin J. Johnston in trouble. That's all they wanted. They wanted bragging rights. Didn't work. I'm still on the internet, and now I'm taking hundreds of millions away from the Canadian government. I'm proud of what I'm doing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, guys, you need to remember, guys. Here, I am an open door, guys. So we try to refrain from going after independent citizens as much as possible, because I'm an open door. You could come and see me at my store. I'm not hiding anywhere, right? So I just.
Well, Mike, I'm not hiding anywhere either.
No, I understand that. I
have absolute. Mike, I'm messing around here. It's very easy to find me. If you were to look at photographs of where I am, it's really easy to find me. And I'm actually quite shocked that the Canadian government or radical Islamic adherents have not come down here with bullets. Yeah, it's all good. Whatever it is. I am living my best life in this country, Mike. This country here is phenomenal. Panama will be a G20 country within the next 10 years. The Panama Canal is at full capacity. There are usually between 20 and 40 ships every morning waiting to go in from this side. That's the Panama City side. Then there's the other side, which is the city of Cologne. There's usually about 50 ships waiting in the Atlantic to come down into the Pacific. The canal makes over $5.4 billion a year. It costs $1 million for the big ships to go through. They got to wire that money to the stable banking system here prior to even entering. The old locks are smaller. Those ships pay $125,000 to go through, and the canal runs 24 hours a day. The infrastructure here is being upgraded better than Canada's infrastructure is, and the downtown core is better than Toronto. The subway system here is better than Toronto. It's 35 cents a ride. Oh, gotcha. The buses here are 25 cents. As I told you, I can buy a 5-pound chicken for $2. There are some restaurants here where I can eat for $4. Yeah, $4. It even says on the menu, $3.75 with a 25-cent cup of coffee to go with it. Mm-hmm. What are you all waiting for? Especially the single guys. The Latina women here are something else. Man, forget Canadian women. Come down here and be treated like a king for once, because it ain't going to happen in Canada. I'll tell you that right now. Continue, Mike, please.
Well, no, I just sorry. No, I'm just listening to it. It's the same thing like in the Philippines. Guys, don't forget to watch my playlist. I'm getting bombarded with so many questions about the house I built in the Philippines for $7,000. I have so many people messaging me questions about. Guys, watch the entire playlist. There's like 23 videos, step by step, on how we built this house. Step by step tour of the house. Step by step of all the upgrades we did. There's more videos after the video of the tour of the house. Watch those videos. It's in a playlist. It's called R7K Filipino Home. Poured concrete, rebarb, and metal roof. The building's gonna outlast me and like maybe my grandkids. So I keep getting bombarded with messages like that. So you're bringing up the cheap stuff, like, you know, how inexpensive it is to do things down there. It's the same thing in the Philippines. Yeah, the people there, no one's upset, no one's pissed off. Everyone, you know, the average Filipino makes 1.4 million pesos a year. 1.4 million pesos in their lifetime. 1.4 million pesos in their lifetime. That's about 40 grand our money. And they live, feed themselves, put their kids through school, own a car, 2 motorcycles, a house, and land, and they still manage to do it with 42 grand of our money. So, of what we make here. So, we're being lied to. We're being ripped off. Go ahead.
Well, there's no value for your money in Canada.
That's
None
right.
whatsoever. I'll never forget it. Like, usually the biggest comparison that you can make to find out how bad the economy is and how bad you're being ripped off, always pay attention to the cost of junk food. Junk food tends to be really inexpensive in comparison to good food. Now, everyone knows that I moved to Calgary from Mississauga in 2021. That was February of 2021. And I was happy because in the gas stations, they would have 2 big bags of Doritos for $6. Then eventually, within a year, it was 1 bag of Doritos for $6. And then when I finally left Canada in 2023, permanently, I might add, then Doritos has gone up to $9 for a bag. If junk food has made that kind of a jump in 2.5 years, imagine what real food has done.
Yep.
And the big thing here, everybody, is the amount of sugar and the amount of chemicals in Canadian food would drop its value anyway. As I think I was always talking about, Mike, on my show, I used to get a lot of inflammation, a lot of gout attacks, a lot of knuckle pain and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It was from the food.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been in Panama where the food is remarkable. I haven't got the craps once because everyone says, watch out, you're gonna get the shits all the time. It hasn't happened. You're gonna get sick. Hasn't happened. I haven't puked once since I got here. The food is incredible. Not one gout attack, not one bout of inflammation. I can tell you something else, Mike. You want to talk about food and how bad it is one of my shows I had showed the x-rays of my right hand. I dislocated this thumb 6 times. I shattered everything here when I went through a window. Then in a karate tournament, I broke these knuckles here, punched a guy in the forehead. He did this move and I got him on top, broke everything. So what will happen with all the breaks I've had, this hand will freeze like this, all right? I can move these, I can't move these. There was only one way to get them to open up, and that was to use Cialis to get the capillaries to open up and allow blood into my hand. Now, the after effect of that, or the side effect, was a pretty good weekend. You know what Cialis does. But imagine I have to use a dick pill to get my hand to work. Since I got here to Panama, with all the good food I'm eating, hasn't happened once.
Yep.
It used to happen at least 4 or 5 times a year. Hasn't happened once. Inflammation issues and health issues disappear when you're eating good food. Think about that.
Good news. When I was in the Philippines, I made a video documented 20 days in. I lost 19 pounds of garbage. I was losing almost a pound a day, and I was eating everything I could get my hands on, bud. I was eating anything I could get my hands on. I was eating junk food, street food, crap food, home food, and I was dropping weight every day. Every day I was losing a pound, and I was feeling good. I felt good. I slept good. I wake up good. It was just so good to be. The food makes a huge difference. We did cover the food on Mike in the Night again tonight about the chemicals are playing with children's mental health at a young age.
Absolutely it is. I want to address Paulo here. Paulo says Canadians complain about the tariffs, but they don't seem to complain about the 40% tax bracket they're sitting on. All right, Paulo, with me doing taxes on a full-time scale, I can tell you that by the time you pay income tax and property tax, alcohol tax, entertainment tax, hotel tax, tax on fuel, tax on junk food, tax on everything, It's actually 73%. That's the number that I've worked out. That's what you lose, which is why none of you should be paying income tax. A couple of quick things here. People say, well, if you don't pay capital gains or income tax, you're going to go to jail. Wrong answer. No, the CRA does not file criminal charges against people. There's been 52 people convicted of income tax evasion in the last 5 years. So I decided to read a little bit further into it. Now, that's 200 million tax returns. The best they can do is 52 convictions. Did some reading, read every single case. The individuals who were arrested by police for completely unrelated crimes. The CRA just said, oh, do something with this. He's got some tax returns we don't like. That's all that it was. And all the folks who were convicted of whatever crimes, none of them went to trial. So the CRA was unable to get case law or precedent set. All of them took plea bargains, which involved no jail time. So the CRA says, we got 52 convictions. But if none of them do prison time and none of them went to trial, you got nothing, CRA. And I mean nothing. I decided to do some searching over the last week with AI, looking for the number of cases that we could find where the CRA is the plaintiff suing people. We found 18 in 10 years. Out of all the tax returns they do every year, they've sued people 18 times. And for whatever the reason, all of the ones that we could find never went to trial. You know why? CRA dumped them. They would realize, we're going to lose this court case. And when you lose a court case, what happens? You set a precedent and case law gets created. So if the CRA was to sue you and lose, everybody else the CRA gets sued by wins just by quoting that particular case law. These people don't have any power. They don't lurk around your house. They don't know what you're doing. When you run a transaction, even if it's 10,000 or more, FinTrack might report it, but what does the CRA do with the information? And the truth is, it's nothing. They don't have the algorithms for it. Everyone says, they've got AI. No, they don't, Mike. They're on Windows XP. They got nothing. The only way the CRA knows about anything that you do, Canada, is when you snitch on yourself by doing a stupid tax return. It's the tax returns that crush you. Clause 150 of the Income Tax Act, Mike, says you shall do a tax return. The word shall in civil law, which is what the CRA is governed by, means, could you do it, please? It's a request. It's not law. You'll also notice that the CRA will rely on tax court, the Federal Tax Court of Canada. Mike, it's a tribunal. It has no jurisdiction over equity. So when the CRA goes to tax court to get a writ of execution against you, the individual taxpayer, we simply file a motion in Superior Court and say, could you just get rid of this? Because they don't have the jurisdiction. It'd be the same idea as me writing you a speeding ticket. Me, not a cop, not contracted by the province to do that. You just take it to court and it gets tossed out the door. There we go. So I'm going to, Mike, it's a couple of questions we have here.
I think we're back, guys. Sorry about that, guys. The computer's on its way out, and I just don't have the funds to buy another one right now. So, I don't know if anyone's gonna come back to the stream. We usually lose everybody, and then I just continue the show with 14 people watching. But that's okay. So we lost Kevin there. Sorry. We'll get him back on in a couple of weeks to update us on what's going on. And I got Mitch. Mitch is on the side. I don't know if he's still there, but I need to debrief Mitch on my trip to the Philippines and let him know what's going on. But the social media is for the new wave that came in after 2020, after COVID, after It's for the new wave. It's a new wave computer. It's a new wave social media presence that's out there now. Guys like me are getting kind of like fizzled out. Guys that are pre-COVID, there's not a lot of us left that are around pre-COVID anymore. We don't exist anymore. A lot of us don't. It's all post-COVID people. And unfortunately, we're just not. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just you know, you put so much in. A lot of people will tell Mike, this is going to be your big one. I did a huge prediction on what's going to happen in with Venezuela, step by step, how it's going to unfold. It's going to come exactly like I'm saying it, but no one cares. It doesn't matter. It's because it's who's telling you the message that matters, right? It doesn't matter how right we're batting. I think we're batting 1,000. No, 980. We're batting 980 here. We're not batting 1,000. We're batting about 900. We're batting about 900 here. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter because I'm not the right person to tell you what matters, right? Dano saying, Mike, the Philippine videos are awesome. Thank you. All right, Mimo saying, let's keep it rolling. The island hopping one with the snake was my favorite. Yeah, that island hopping video. Yeah, let's open up the channel here for you guys to see. So guys, guys, join the channel. You'll see it over here on the corner here. You'll see join channel, or at the bottom of this video, or the corner of this video, you'll see join channel. Join the channel, guys, if you want, and support us. I'd really appreciate it very much. So go down here, off-grid Filipino home, off-grid project, 7K home in the Philippines. There's our Philippine videos there. And then if you go to our playlists here, I'll show you where because I'm getting so many questions about that house. There's the playlist, 7K. Watch them all so you understand, so you don't have to message me because you might find the answer you're looking for. And then you go into right here, you go to playlists, go here, go down to family travels. These are our family travels. That's us in Astoria. Go down and you'll see the Filipino videos all here. Rice videos, adventures in Bordeaux, adventures sea fishing, tuna. That's the fishing video that we did where we were. I went out fishing for you guys. There's our bait, and we're out in the ocean. And watch the sun come up here. Watch this. It's real good stuff. We had a real good time here. We had a real good time. Yeah, we caught something there, I think it was. And then when we come back to land. So if you guys want to watch it, there's Adventures of Sea Fishing. The Pendasol Delivery Guy's got a lot of people commenting on it. This one right here. There's a Pendasol Delivery Guy. This guy delivers bread to your house. And if this business was in Canada, there's the bread right there. There's the tank. There's his motorcycle. And if this business was in Canada, they'd shut him down in a heartbeat because he'd go against 2,000 violations that Canadian governments put to save you. And, yeah. So if you guys want to check this out, there's a lot on this channel to watch, guys. I really recommend you guys take the time to watch some of these videos. I promise you, it's worth your time. There's the island hopping video. That's what Dano liked right here. So here we are. There's the island. That's an island we found. Well, I mean, it's on a map. But I mean, we got to the island, and Daniel's talking about the snake here. Hold on, here's a snake. There it is. There's a snake right there. That's what Daniel's talking about in the comments. And there's the water right there for you guys to see. Yeah, check out my stuff, guys. I've put in a lot of work. Family Travels. Scroll down. Watch the videos here. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. You guys won't be disappointed, I promise. You'll enjoy our perspective of the Philippines and yeah. So there's the playlist there, folks. Lots of stuff to see. And you can join the channel up here on the corner here. There's a join the channel section, or on the bottom of the video we'll say join channel. And there's the 7K Filipino home that we built. I give you a tour of the house here before. And we do a lot of work on it in more videos. So people are watching this one video, and then they're not coming back. So we're going to do some work over there with the concrete, and we're going to finish that off. But so it's all poured concrete and rebarb. So if you guys haven't seen this video, we have hurricane-proof windows, like for really strong windows. And look, we don't even have water yet in this video. And then if you go down a few videos, we have water, we have electricity properly. We set everything up properly. And there it is right there. There's the bed, one of the bedrooms there. It's a big bedroom with 2 beds. And if you guys want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. And yeah, you could do that if you guys want. And then there's a video here I posted that a lot of people are starting to pick up too. I followed a path behind my house. Where did it go? I followed a path behind my house in the Philippines here. I followed a dirt path. Everyone's commenting on this one too. So I'm in the jungle, so I found a dirt path, and I take it out. I walk out for you guys and show you where it ends. And you just follow the dirt path. I hit a village, like a village with water. Look, a village in the middle of like literally in the middle of nowhere. And I followed the path. So check that out, guys, if you want. Under Family Travels, aka My 7K Filipino Home. It's in the playlist there too. Check it out, guys. I put a lot of time. It's for expats too, thinking of moving somewhere else. Go ahead and do that, guys. Check that out. So Mimo is saying, "Yo, Mike, I left Portland, Oregon, and I'm chilling in Merida. I went Merida. Are you in Merida in Colombia or Merida in Nicaragua? Or I went from paying $1,800 to $800 on Airbnbs. Nice. There's Paulo there. I hope my computer doesn't freeze up again. Yeah, no crime, no tent cities, nothing. Oh, Merida, Mexico. Okay, sorry. Let me go to real quick here for you guys. Damn it, where was it? Yeah, I think we need to call Mitch. I think we need to get Mitch on the phone. I think it's important that we get Mitch on the phone. I know he's watching this show right now, and I know it's still 7:41 p.m. his time. There, he is in Oregon, and I think we need to get Mitch on the show and ask him a bunch of questions, and then have him answered immediately.
Mike.
Mitch, how are you?
All right. Hey, the first thing is, nice to see you back, and welcome back to the country that's turning into shit faster than a lot of other countries. Anyway, your house in the Polillo Island, it's still a cement floor?
It's still cement floor. Yeah, I'm gonna ceramic the floor soon.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention in 2014 when I rebuilt the shack, my shack over there, I was just going to do smooth cement because it was much cheaper, and not too bad on the feet. You know, walking around there it's nice and smooth. But I decided to, spend the money to have these large 12-inch by 12-inch tiles put in, or might even be a little bigger than 12-inch. And it was a relatively minor upgrade by our standards as far as expense. And I found out that it's a little cooler on the feet. It's easier to sweep, and it's easier to mop every day, which they do. And I just think it's just a nicer feel all the way around. It's a worthwhile upgrade, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm gonna ceramic the whole thing, the whole bathroom, the backsplash in the kitchen. I'm gonna do it all, man. I'm doing it all.
Oh, our bathroom was only 4 feet by 5 feet. And it's all there was in there was a toilet and a water spigot. That was it, and a drain. And we lived like that for more than 10 years. And a little over a year ago, I had a new bathroom put in, and it had it expanded like 3 times the size. And it's all tiled all the way up. I mean, the whole floor, the seal, the walls, everything. And wow, and a regular shower head, and anyway, it's twice as nice as the bathroom that I have here in Oregon. And it's the most beautiful place in the whole shack is in that bathroom. And it's really a real pleasure for everyone,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Guys, in the background while Mitch is talking, I'm just showing the final nail. It's called the final nail, final season, final nail. We're going to be doing season 2 next year of the house in the Philippines. We're going to show all the other upgrades we're going to be doing in season 2. And yeah, I'm just, did you watch some of those videos, Mitch?
Yeah, I watched some of them, but I haven't watched them all yet. I will.
Watch
I'll
the
get
final
them.
nail. Get to the final nail. Last projects we wrapped up before we left.
Have you been? Did you happen to go over to Aurora province?
I was in Quezon province. I was in Metro Manila Metro Manila area. I think I went to Angeles. I went to, I don't know. I went around. I had to get to Palilio. You have to cross the whole country from east to west.
Yeah, Aurora is on the coast there, and it's I think it's just to the north of Quezon province, and that is where the wife. There's a town called Baler, Baler, and in 1948, the wife of the former president Manuel Quezon was going up to Baler to commemorate something, and the Hucks, the NPA, the communist guerrillas. They ambushed her entourage and killed everybody, including her, Aurora Quezon.
Oh, wow.
That was in Aurora province, which I believe is bumps right up. I think it's to the north of Quezon province, right on the east coast of Luzon. Mm-hmm. That's where. Anyway, that's a little bit of Filipino history.
Interesting. Yeah, I went to the big memorial park / gardens there in the Philippines where Jose Real whatever was assassinated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the video's up. It's under Family Travels. It's called I have the name of the park there. We take a walk around there and I show some of the statues and the big Filipino flag that's in the middle. Yeah, that's a Manila. Again, that's a Manila Metro where I was, right? And
yeah, I've probably been there. They didn't happen to have the old jails that were deep down under in that park, did they?
There was no old jails there anymore. No.
Under the Spanish, yeah, and then they have Luneta Park. It's a big park, but I don't think that was Luneta. I think it was the old yeah. The Spanish assassinated Rizal in about 1898, and God, he was just 2 years short of the Spanish finally being kicked out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote several books, and he traveled back. He was educated mostly in Spain, and he studied with an ophthalmologist in Germany. He had a sweetheart whose father was one of the last samurais over in Japan. He could speak more languages than Pope John Paul II, which he was a polyglot. And anyway, he was a really smart guy. But they they decided to kill him. He wrote one book called Nole de Tangere, which means touch me not. And it was about the Spanish friar system that was set up there in the Philippines, and how these friars were, they made Filipinos subservient to them, and they let them have certain good lands to grow pigs and ducks and chickens and turkeys and rice and everything, and then they had to give so much to the friar of their crop, whatever he demanded. And the friars were messing around with all the young girls too. And he wrote a book about the friars, and everybody knew who the people he was describing in his book, but he did not name their real name, but everybody knew who it was. And the Spaniards got furious, the friars, and they got the government to kill him. He was actually on a ship heading back to Spain in Manila Bay. He was just departing, and they sent a ship out to rendezvous, and they pulled him off the ship, and then they assassinated him right before New Year's Eve, I think, 1898. The Spaniards, my God. And then the Americans were much better than the Spaniards, but Aguinaldo, who was the kind of unofficial first president of the Philippines, about that same time, around 1900, he's at first, when the Japanese came in and kicked the Americans out, Aguinaldo said, "Oh, the Japanese are better than the Americans," and that wasn't proved to be true as far as how they treated the people. It was brutal. The Japanese were beautiful. When you say in Tagalog, you say hapon. If you say it kind of gently, it means afternoon. If you say it kind of harshly and loud, it means Japanese.
Oh,
you say hapon.
Hapon in Spanish is hapon. Japones. Listen, Mitch, I wanted to ask you something about the Philippines. So it was my first time there. I spent 4.5-5 weeks there. The one thing that threw me off, or that kind of, I just couldn't find, and here's the video right here. Homeless in the Philippines are non-existent. We went to the most dangerous areas in Manila Metro, and we went to all kinds of weird places. We drove a lot, and you find poor people, but you don't find homeless. I saw maybe one beggar the whole time I was there by the church. That's it. One. And I didn't see, everyone's got a business there, or everyone's like, it's bustling, it's hustling, bustling. I don't know. I don't know. It's different. There's no tent cities. And I asked my brother-in-law to take me to the most treacherous, dangerous areas, and we just couldn't find a damn thing.
Well, the Filipino culture, as you probably observed, is very compassionate and very tolerant. And if you go to the hospital there and you get admitted to the hospital, even if you don't have family, a neighbor or an acquaintance or something will at least try to come in and visit you, bring you a little food, and maybe sit with you for a while. And most people have family. And the family, they have an extra bed with each bed, even in the cheap, $10 a night room there that they have, like 5 or 6 beds with just a fan. That's not a private room. That's a, communal room at the hospital. You will have beds for the family, or the family members will actually jump in the bed with the sick patient, and they will stay there. They will give them sponge baths. They will feed them. And then the family members, and sometimes even the close neighbors, will come into the hospital and relieve the family member or neighbor that's staying with them, and give them some relief for 6, 8 hours, 10 hours. And they try to keep somebody there with them, all night, all shifts. They do not believe a person should be suffering alone in the hospital. They don't believe it. And all of the hospital, that's part of their culture. They accept the fact that there's going to be a lot of family, a lot of visitors, a lot of people, extra people sleeping there and everything else. That's part of the culture.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe how there was no homeless. There was no trash. There was no, it wasn't spotless, but it wasn't trashy. You know what I mean?
Well, everybody there, every morning you will see people outside their property or their business, out in the front, on the grounds and whatever, sweeping and cleaning and washing. And even though it's super, super poverty, and there is a lot of trash in some areas, people kind of like they litter a lot more than they do in the Western countries, but they can come out of the poorest shack with no running water, no electricity, the poorest shack, and you will find that they're way cleaner than us Westerners are.
Yep, big time. I noticed that almost immediately. But yeah, it was just a different perspective. Wow, that guy's wearing a helmet. I'm just watching the video here of driving around Metro Manila, and I just saw a guy wearing a helmet on a motorcycle, because a lot of people weren't wearing helmets, right? And
right. Yeah, you're supposed to. Usually the local statutes say you're supposed to, but a lot of people, you're supposed to have a driver's license. You're supposed to use a light if you're driving a vehicle at night on the roads. You're supposed to have a light. Some people drive with no light. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like hit and miss as far as getting pinched for violating the statutes or the laws or whatever. And Filipinos are. The reason that the government has a hard time enforcing rules is because a high percentage of the Filipinos break the rules, mm-hmm. and I like that. It's like thumbing your nose at the government.
Yeah, I noticed that. But yeah, Mitch, try and catch up on my Go to the playlist. It's called 7K Filipino Home. It's on this channel. Go look at it. Take your time. Watch through it. Watch through the episodes you haven't watched. It's worth watching. And then our family travels. Go towards the end of the family travels, and you'll see the Philippines travel. You know what? I think I'm going to make an independent playlist just on the Filipino travels, separate from the American travels, so it doesn't confuse people.
So I was actually, the ones that I did watch is when you were there. As you posted them, I was watching. Now, Mike, you lost 19 pounds, and when I first went to the Philippines back in '79, everybody fried with coconut oil, and the popular oil was,
that's all we cook with is coconut oil.
Yeah, and the coconut oil is healthy. The yellow seed oil that we use here, you might as well be frying with diesel.
Yeah.
As far as your health, the coconut oil is healthy for you.
Yep, that's what we buy. We buy coconut oil. There's a place that fabricates it or produces it, like down the street from us on Palilio Island. And then right next to us by our house, there's a factory that makes the fresh rice. We buy the rice directly from them.
Did you ever get a massage with it's a special coconut oil for massage. Did you ever get a massage with that?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. It feels so good, and it smells so good. And, if you like to have a little bit of dander for a dry scalp or something, you get a massage with that special coconut oil in your head, your ulo. Mm-hmm. And oh man, it's wonderful stuff for the massage. There's a lot of healing foods over there that we have. I brought a big can of Baguio coconut oil back from the Philippines at the beginning of 1980 to my parents. And they refused to use it because they said coconut oil was bad for your heart. Mm-hmm. And that's how brainwashed we are in the West. We're eating the most poisonous foods in the world, and yet we put down something because it came from an alleged third world country. From some other that we don't know anything about the culture. Mm-hmm. But when I got back in the Philippines, I was going to every library, wherever I was going in libraries hunting for books on the Philippines, and I couldn't find anything. I could not find anything because I wanted to know more about it. Mm-hmm. And even though I've made numerous visits over the years, and I've spent 2 years over there, it was only in the late 90s when I got the first internet. In 1998 is when I started to be able to finally learn about the history, the culture, the geography of the Philippines. Mm-hmm. Because I only had a very limited, just like most Filipinos did, very limited knowledge about all that, Mm-hmm. And it's a very, very, very diverse culture in many, many ways. There's some common denominators, but it's really, really interesting. Yeah, if you to take your wife and kids and your mom, if she, and go over there, Mike, is such a big task. It's unbelievably, overwhelming. However, as my uncle used to say, and he used to say, if you wait for the right time to do something important, you will never do it. He said, there's never a right time. He said, if you want to do something, you have to kick down all the roadblocks and the obstacles and just go for it.
Right.
So whether it's, I don't know. I think I would probably choose the Philippines over Portugal, even though I have a high opinion of Portugal in general. It's got better weather, and it's anyway, I think because of the EU, that it's kind of connected, even though it's in the southern, Western Europe and the South. I think that I would rather go to the Philippines, even though that you're right in the path of one of the worst hurricane areas in the world. I mean, that area of Luzon gets slammed by hurricanes. Aurora province, which I was talking about earlier, has had some, like every tree, every tree is on the ground, laying flat.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the American military and intelligence has been setting up the Philippines to be a missile sponge for any future conflict with China. And they're setting up all kinds of missiles and stuff, and anyway, it's going to be a magnet for I don't think, it doesn't seem likely that Polillo Island would be under threat, but that northern Luzon and all of Luzon could be under threat in an all-out problem with China. And America is becoming such a loser, such a poor sport, and so evil around the world that it might just be stupid enough to get in a war with China. And if that happens, the Philippines, South Korea, and Japan and Taiwan will all get blasted big time. And all the American ships in that area will be sunk too. It will be a total nightmare. That's something to consider. But I would choose the Philippines personally over Portugal, even though Portugal is very interesting, and especially because you have the Portuguese citizen. Your mom is fluent in Portuguese and came from there, and you're familiar with the culture and the different places to live and the options. And I think that'd be a tough choice. But I know one thing, Mike, if I had the wherewithal and I could see my way clear to do something, to make a move, even with a big family and a big, whole bunch of things to consider, I think if I was in Canada, based on everything I'm hearing, mostly on your show, with all the Canadians, I'm thinking I might want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. I'm going to be in Portugal in a few weeks, Mitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'll be in Portugal, so I'll be filming and uploading for you guys in Portugal too.
You're going to fly into Lisbon?
Yes, I am.
And then are you going to go over to the Azores or stay
No, I got to stay in Lisbon. I got to go to the slightly north Portugal. I have a few things I got to take care of, some business to take care of. And then I'm going to go back to Lisbon and spend a whole week and walk the streets for you guys all over the place, all over, all the food, everything. So, Mike, the channel is going to Portugal.
Oh, that's cool. You can go out to the hinterland of mainland Portugal, and we've talked about this before, and get a couple of hectares of established farmland with an old stone house, and modify it, fix it up, and with a nice hand dug deep well, and plenty of water and plenty of beautiful weather, and support a whole family with the food you can get off that thing, and live beautifully there. And probably get that. I can't remember the prices, but I looked at a lot of properties over there online, and people taking tours and stuff. And it seemed to me like it was like $100,000 US or something. You could get a couple of acres with an old farmhouse and fix it up, but you've got everything you need right there. And just have to spend a little bit extra to get it the way, get it fixed up the way you want. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was looking at that and I was thinking, God, if I was a younger man, Portugal is very interesting because the weather in Portugal is a lot like my hometown in the San Francisco Bay Area in the East Bay. The weather is just perfect. Like my hometown, it hardly ever gets to freezing. And there's only 20 days a year that's over 90 degrees in my hometown. It's that you got that ocean air that kind of keeps it a little bit cool, but and you have many, like 250 days of sunshine or more. And so, yeah, the Mediterranean, kind of semi-Mediterranean climate, they call it. Yeah, Portugal's interesting. The thing about the Polilio Island is I'm not sure how good the medical is for your whole family. You know, sooner or later, you're going to need some serious medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but I know one thing: the cost is affordable.
Yeah.
And I've seen orthopedic surgeons, I've seen ear, nose, and throat surgeon, people, experts, and I know them pretty well too. Different family members and me, and then I've gone to dentists over there, and many times, and I've had nothing but good experiences, and I've been to the ER too, and I had blood work done, and this and that. And every professional that I have seen there in the medical field I have had the utmost confidence after my interaction with them that they knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas most people over here, if you say, I went to the doctor in the Philippines, they're going to say, oh my God, did they have a license? Yeah, they were trained over here and they finished top of their class. What do you mean? Did they have a license? But anyway, the Westerners, we don't know anything about other countries, and or it's just super, super ignorant and unjustifiably arrogant.
Yes.
But anyway, you're going to go from the Philippines to Portugal, but you're not going to take the whole family. That's you got to be rich to be taking your family all around the world. You got to have big, long money. But I'm happy that you finally got your wife, because when the COVID broke out and you bought all those tickets for everybody, and your wife had not been back at that time, what, 5 years or more?
Like a few years now, yeah.
But she missed the wake of her father, right?
Yeah, I missed my father-in-law. I missed, yeah, the timing and everything was just...
Did you happen to experience a wake while you were there?
No. I did visit the cemetery. Watch my videos. I did go to a cemetery.
Well, I've experienced a few wakes over there, and they are if they have little different variations, depending on who it is in the family and what they end up doing. But the wakes are unbelievable. They usually, have the body prepared, and then they bring it back to the house, and you buy a package from them, and they deliver it to the house, and they set up the mesa or the stand, and they put it on there, and then the top part is like plexiglass, and the person just looks beautiful. The person that's in there, they really doll them up really nice, and they look just like a doll, Mm-hmm. And then they usually leave it at the house for 1 week to 2 weeks, and then sometimes they have to actually come back and add some embalming fluid. I have to open it up and stuff, depending. But anyway, people come, they put out the word to relatives all over the world and all over the Philippines, and they trickle in. They just show up day after day after day, and the host is supposed to supply a tinapay, the bread, like pandesal, like the pandesal guy you were showing, and coffee. But most people don't provide like meals, real nice meals for everyone. That gets very expensive. Unless they're pretty well off. And anyway, they do that, and then the day of the funeral, they will have the spot already picked out in the cemetery they're going to go to, in the spot, and they'll have all that arranged, and then they will come and pick up the casket, and then there's a ceremony that you do where the men, and I've done this, the men will hold up the casket, and everybody there, and the family and the neighbors and the entourage will have to walk under the casket while the men are holding it up in the air. They walk under the casket, and then they take all the flowers that have been brought, and they take the casket, and they go to the local church, and they bring the casket into the church, and everybody piles down to the church, and they have a big ceremony, and then it goes back out to the transport, all the flowers in the casket, and all the people getting all these vehicles, sometimes in big trucks and jeepneys, and they just pile in, and they go to the cemetery. And then the priest shows up at the cemetery, and he was at the church, he was at the house doing the last rites, and then, or whatever you call it. And then they'll come out to the cemetery, and then they have a bunch of different traditional ceremony at the gravesite. And it's really awesome. Mm-hmm. And then they have the casket there, and they they say that the priest will, do all of his last thing that he says before the burial, and then people will grab a flower and they walk by the casket one by one, and they will add a flower, add a flower, add a flower. They pile it all up, and then they, some people hang around and watch the interment, which I have done, and watch them, and then they seal up the. If it's a crypt, if it's a above ground crypt, they will seal up the thing with the name on it and everything. But anyway, it's a long, long process that takes a week to 2 weeks after the death to get them finally to the graveside service. That's for a full blown wake, and it takes up to 2 weeks from the time they die until the time you get them buried. But there's a whole bunch of things that go on. But I'll tell you what, Mike. After I had that first experience with my wife's grandma, she was 80 years old. I thought, this is really culturally superior to anything I've ever experienced in America. It's just like it was a really satisfying experience. And at the end of it, I thought, man, we really gone through all of this whole thing, all of these emotions, all of these prayers, and all of these saying goodbyes, and it's really feels like it's complete. You know what I mean?
That's really good, Mitch. Culturally superior.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. We some of the arrogant Westerners would say that it's kind of primitive, But for me, I thought, no, our the way that we handled, my brother, my dad, and my mom all donated their body to science. Just made a phone call when they were dead, and they came out and took the bodies right from the house. My mom and dad died right in the same house I'm in right now, and they just took it. I tried to talk mom and dad out of it. I said, I want to at least have your ashes, And they said, no, we made up our mind. And they just came take the body, and they do what they want with it. Whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not want my parents, and my brother did the same thing. Same company that they used. And, it's free. It's free. You sign up for it in advance. And, but I didn't like it at all. It was just the coldest thing you ever saw.
Wow.
I would rather go through the emotional turmoil of doing a proper service and a proper send off. I would rather go through, even if they're going to be cremated, I'd rather go through the turmoil and the expense and the stress and everything. And then when I'm done, I feel a lot better than just hauling the body away and having them butcher it up for science. They probably got the pliers and started pulling out all their gold teeth. My dad had a lot of gold teeth. Wow. They probably got the pliers out and started yanking out the gold teeth first off. I'm guessing.
Yeah. All right, Mitch. Anyways, I wanted to get you on to update us on a few things here and tell us a story or two like you usually do. And I know you have a lot on the Philippines, but I'll let you go for right now. But we'll get you back on soon enough, I promise. And I will be going to Portugal in a few weeks, so just look forward to those videos. Go back to the 7K Filipino home off grid if you haven't seen all the videos. Watch that, and then watch all the videos in the family travels towards the end. I might make just a Filipino travels video playlist so it's easier for people to find instead of it being under family travels. Okay?
That sounds good, Mike. Hey, tell your wife, minsan minahal kita. And then she will look shocked. She will look shocked when you tell that. Minsan minahal kita.
Yes,
that means I used to love you.
Yeah.
I joke. That's a joke.
Okay. Thanks, Mitch.
Right.
God bless you.
Okay. God bless you. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Mike in the Night, Monday nights. And, yeah, we could get No Way Jose to call in. I don't know how long this show has been going on for, guys, because we lost the show. The computer is on his way out, so maybe next year I could see if I could find some funds to buy this, but if not, we'll just do our best with what we got here. And what are we with, guys? Do you know where we are with time on the show? Because I'm not getting anything for time, guys. I don't know how long we've been live. Let me call. All right, I want to call No Way Jose. I want to know what's going on. I want to call No Way Jose. I think he's listening to the show right now. He's tuned in to Mike in the Night right now. I'll call him. $2 and 4. Thank you. Thank you, Edwin. Let's do a quick channel plug first. Okay, quick channel plug. Kevin J. Johnston. So you just go to MikeMartinsTax.com. MikeMartinsTax.com. Just go ahead and go there and fill out this questionnaire, and it will go ahead and fill it out. If you have tax issues, artbydano.com, artbydano.net, not your typical art. Don't forget to check out Dano, not your typical artwork. You can find Dano at the Huntington Beach Pier. And if you want to join the channel, there's a membership. Click there, thing for the membership if you want. I have back end videos that you normally normally would not post. So go ahead and join the channel there. There is a link for it, and I'd like to thank. We only have 4 members, so I'd like to thank our 4 members. I'm not sure why it's not giving me my members here. With our 4 members, and there it is. Pamela, Dino, Mitch, and Debbie, thank you for supporting the channel. And if you want to buy me a coffee, there should be a link in the description, and there should be a link pinned to the top of the chat. Someone saying, Mimo saying, Mitch rules. We're both Oregonians. Yep, from Oregon. Yep. And yeah, we got 70 people watching here tonight on Mike of the Night. Unfortunately, we don't. It doesn't matter. I clip out the video and then I just go back and tell everybody so. That's all it is in the end. Oh, you know, nobody. Yeah, here we go. We told you so. There's the video. There's the told you so videos. And that's it. We told you so.